Who looks unhappy about being wet? Lucille, are you upset? Are you mad? Are you upset about being wet? Sorry about that. You barely got wet. All right. We're back. And she didn't get wet. I, on the other hand, got drenched. Man, I got wiped out. Let me see something here. Okay, back to regular programming. Let's go back to Waikiki. That's where we were. That's the park. Wet. Perfect condition, but just wet. All good. Most importantly, Lucille's not. Her paw got a tiny bit wet, and she's acting like it's her Normandy. I know what she's doing. She's angling for a little bit more chicken or salmon for lunch, but I'm not falling for it. Hello, Lance, and Sandy, Tom, Janet, the diehards. I love it. I enjoy these impromptu strolls with you folks. Show you just a little bit of Oahu. She's always a drama queen. She hurt her paw about 2 years ago. Had to take her to the vet, and the vet said there's really nothing wrong. They took an x-ray, there's nothing wrong. They said probably just a very light sprain. So of course I put her in her bed. I was giving her chicken and salmon and shrimp. And she would get out of her bed and she would hop along on 3 feet, and her front paw would be, it's her front right paw. Her front right paw was up, and she was just hopping along on 3 feet. And obviously I'd pick her up, and I wouldn't make her walk for like 4 or 5 days. It was going that way. And she'd get out of her bed, she'd have her right paw up, and I'd pick her up and talk to her, and I'd take her to the refrigerator, get her some shrimp or some salmon or something, and you know, love on her a little bit. And again, we'd go on walks. I'd take her out to her favorite spot and put her down and pick her up, take her back. And then one day I came out of the bathroom, and she was walking around. And I check out that guy with his parrot on the back of the. That's a real parrot, by the way. He's lost that parrot in Waikiki in some of the trees before. Took him days to get it back. But anyway, I come walking out of the bathroom, and Lucille's out of her bed, walking on all fours. And I went, Lucille, what are you doing? And she lifts her left paw up, and she starts limping around. week or so after that, she kept doing that. She would alternate right or left foot just to get a treat. And I thought it was so funny that I went along with it until she stopped doing it. But she'd walk along like she was the most injured POW. She's a scam artist is what she is. I mean, look at her. Hey, you're a scam artist, aren't you? Hello, Mary Kay. That's right, Tom. I'll show it to you anytime. Oh yeah, she was limping on her, had her left foot up and acting like it was, she had gone through a minefield or something, and she had been through POW interrogation. She gets the saddest look on her face, like pitiful. But it worked. Oh, that's for sure she does. Looks like it's raining over there by Manoa Falls. I bet the fall is looking nice these last few days. Too bad we can't keep reception going up Manoa Falls. That'd be a great hike. We tried that before last year, if you remember right. Oh, she does for sure have me scammed. There's no doubt about that. Oh, we got wiped out by a wave. When a wave comes up that much, it just drenched me on the right-hand side and wet the camera. And when the camera gets wet, it just cuts out, just stops. So I just had to dry us off, and we're good now. All good in the hood. We're just walking back to Waikiki now. Interesting looking tree. Yeah, I had a drone. I had a nice drone. I never flew it. Took it out of the box, looked at it, never flew it. I thought about getting another one and have it just follow behind us and to the side of us when we hike and things like that. I'm definitely going to get one, but I won't use it for myself, I don't think. I think I'll just hire it out, but get a nice one, and so they're using our drone instead in case something happens. You know, that we have all the license footage and all that type of thing. Cell phone. All of it's cell phone. Yeah, you take these trees for granted when you just walk past them every day. You know? Just like the beach. Sad to say, you know, if you hear the same song every day, it just kind of you go deaf to it, no matter how beautiful the song is. There's Turk. That's their highest rated driver. If any of you have had Turk on the blue line, that was him that just went by. I almost yelled at him and I realized the microphone's right underneath my mouth. I've actually whistled a number of times when the mic was right underneath me. It's a piercing sound for you guys, so I tried not to do that. I was going to go back in here and stop and get a tea and swipe some of those straws for you guys, but I'm too wet. That's the hotel. That's where the straws are. That's where the seal is right in front of. If you go in there and have lunch or breakfast at the restaurant in there, you can actually look right out and see the baby seal and the mom chilling. Yeah, it's called a dead mouse. The fuzzy windscreen is called a dead mouse. And they're one of the most rare things you would ever find on this planet. Diamonds are more plentiful, it seems like. Try and buy one for this particular mic. They're non-existent. I don't know what kind of tree this is. Hello, Wade. Haven't seen you in a couple days, my friend. Yes, sir. He seems to be in a good mood today. I was going to walk over on that side of the park, but I think it's nicer over here on the beach side. Even though we just came through here, it just gives you a different view, and plus that's just park. It's nice to see the families out playing flag football, and actually it's not families, it's organized flag football and rugby, it looks like. They have those monstrous Samoan and Hawaiian dudes out there playing. No thanks. Cold and wet in Virginia. I hesitate to say that it was bad weather this morning just because it sprinkled a tiny bit and it was a little bit cloudy. But that was as bad as it got, so I'm a little hesitant to call it bad weather, although it is. In Waikiki terms, I guess. So I'm a little bit torn on what to do tomorrow for sunrise. We have a sunrise stream scheduled. We could do it here in Waikiki, or I thought about going to Lanikia Beach, where we went the other day, or Lanikai, sorry, Beach, where we went the other day, and it was the reason I would even think to do that again is because it was so cloudy that day. Even though it was beautiful, it was cloudy. And then I thought about doing the pillbox. I think my knee is good enough to do that climb. The climb's not tough, it's just a little bit sketchy. Hilton Hawaiian Village. Waimanalo Beach is a really good one to do it off of, or Makapulu. The problem is that once the sunset or once the sun rises, there's nothing else to do over it. It's pretty, you know, there's not a lot to do. So we would just do the sunrise and that's it. You can't hear me? Oh, that's right. You guys are hearing the wind. Yeah, because I don't have a. Yeah, I don't have the mic on. I don't have the. Doggone! I thought I had the mic with the windscreen on. I'm sorry about that. No, you just have the phone mic on. That's why it's so windy. My apologies. I do that because it's. I have the battery charger charged in, but when I get over to this table over here, I'll switch it out again. I apologize. I should have been more aware of that. I was wondering why you kept saying it was windy, but when I have the charger in, once I have the charger in, I can't have the microphone in. So it's one or the other. But we're good now. I'll change it out. Doggone it. Lucille is supposed to be my production partner and she's slacking on the job. She didn't even remind me. Lucille? Do you think she's tired? Hey, Lucille, you're fired, young lady. You ready to go to sleep? All right, guys, give me 1 second here. I bet that audio is much better now, huh? How's that? I'm sorry, Lucy. I dumped you right off there, didn't I? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm off my game today, I think. Hey, do you want to get a ahi tuna sandwich or a salmon sandwich? Lucille, hey, do you want to get a salmon sandwich or a piece of tuna? Yeah, guys, sorry about that audio. I know that had to be horrible. I'm walking through all that wind thinking, boy, I'm glad we have this windscreen on. And then someone asked about, don't you have one of those windscreens? I'm like, yeah, I have one. I'm not using it, but I have one. So there, now it should be much, much better. How's that audio now? I know she wants a sandwich for sure. I'll come here and we'll get a blackened salmon. And I have them make like a little salmon steak just for her, but with no spice on it, and she tears it up. Oh, that was such a good one, we missed it. I can watch that all day. Is that relaxing to you guys? Do you guys like that? Listen to the waves and the crashing. So I need to figure out what we're going to be doing for the sunrise tomorrow. Part of me wants to do, there you go. Part of me wants to do Waikiki, and the other part wants to do Lanakai. Lucille's not a fan of those waves, especially after we just got hit with one. I'd go get one of their smoothies if it wasn't such a long line. A Barefoot Beach Cafe. Yeah, I almost want to go to the beach again over there, but unless we walk back into Kailua like we did, now, that would almost be worth doing again, because Kailua that day it was a little bit rainy and cloudy, and then it did actually rain. But we just did that 2 weeks ago, so we probably won't do that. Maybe just do here in Waikiki and do a little walk around afterwards. What do you guys think? We can come out here on this pier right here and do the sunrise shot there. Maybe see some turtles having some breakfast. Does that sound good? Oh man, that sounds good. Lobster roll, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the sunrise here. And they'll wait another couple of weeks, because the last thing I'd like to do is get up that front part of Lanakai hike and twist my knee and not either have to go up the rest of it or be so bad that I can't go up the rest of it. So I'll just let another couple weeks go by and do whatever repair I need to do on my knee. I say repair, I mean rest. There's not going to be any repair. I do that almost, Jill, I don't do it over at Hilton Hawaiian Village, but I have a Starbucks. I do the sunrise, so almost. Sunrise, sunset. I'm up very early. I'm up at 3 every day, so I don't go out for another 3 hours before the sun comes up, and I really enjoy it. I think it's Andrew Huberman, if you guys ever listen to him. And this is the healthy lifestyle section of the, portion of the episode. I get a little pushback from the 19 on that as well. They say, you sound like you think you're a health expert or a life coach or a health expert or something like that whenever I talk about vitamins or fasting or something like that. And that is absolutely not the case. I don't think that at all. I'm a dummy when it comes to that kind of stuff. I could just parrot back and regurgitate the same information that much smarter men have told me. So I think I make that clear. And I give no advice. I'm just telling you my own experience. So, and the people that think otherwise, that are not that kind about it, they can climb this tree. They can climb this tree. But Andrew Huberman talks about, you know, the effects of vitamin D and the sunlight on your face for the first 15 minutes of the day. And I believe that. Yeah, that can, yeah, those 19 are clowns for sure. Enough, Debbie, I get enough. I got a number of people pushing back on the fasting, number one, and on the talk about vitamins and that type of thing. They're like the one who I know. I'm almost 90% sure I know who this person is. They say people barely tune in to hear you spout about, and the reason I say spout is because they use that term enough. So I'm busting themselves because they use the word spout, but they use it on 3 different usernames. So that 19 is probably more like 11 people because a couple of those idiots use the same verbiage on different usernames, which is so dumb. But anyway, they say most people don't even tune in to hear you spout off about Hawaii and Hawaiian culture. They certainly don't tune in to hear you talk about lifestyle choices and which I've never spoken about, or health advice, which I've never given health advice either. Oh, David Sinclair is the bomb, man. And Dr. Rhonda Patrick, I listen to them. I've just found that their lifestyle choices, their input, their examples fit with what I like to do. So someone else who's probably more active or not as active or less active may find it different, but Sinclair, Huberman, and Dr. Rhonda Patrick, just listen to one of the 2-hour podcasts so you get a good example of what their thoughts are. And then you'll say to yourself, boy, those people have nothing for me. Or boy, I really am glad I listened to them. I think life itself is a test case. Every day should be spent trying to do something to make you feel better or not as bad as you did the day before. Yeah, they can stuff it. Are you speaking to me, Mayreen? Did I get your message? If you sent it just now, no, I didn't. Yeah. Yeah, I do this whole protocol. Right there.
Oh, he's so cute.
She.
Oh, she's so cute. Hi, baby.
Her name's Lucille.
Lucille, how are you? She's cute.
Thank you. We can go into Lulu's and have some Loco Moco. Or go get the world's most expensive acai bowl there where Miss Cassie Vegas goes. That's the name of the place. Someone was asking about the name of it. It's at Cafe Glacis. I think that's how you, or glacé, I think that's how you pronounce it, right over there, right in front of the Avis rent-a-car place. Yeah, Sinclair, his protocol is all about longevity, you know, and does it work, does it not? It works on the mice that he uses it on. That's all anyone knows. He has humans that are doing the protocols, and you just take it and see if you feel better. Then you stop it and see if you feel worse, and I've done both. I've taken it for about 9 months at one time, and then stopped it because I just felt really, really good, but I just wanted to make sure that it was all the different vitamins. And I put on and took off a number of the supplements and protocols throughout the next 90 days. And I didn't even make it 90 days. I went to about 70 days. I said, this is for the birds. I know for a fact it's working better and I feel better. I'm never tired. I mean, I get up at 3, I day trade every day. You know, I'll take a nap like 2 hours, or I'm sorry, an hour. And then I don't go to bed till probably 10 or 11. You know, I put in miles, man. I do minimum 5 miles every day, every single day, usually like 7 to 9. There'll be a day or two in a month I take off. And I wake up, I feel great. I take NMN, which is nicotinamide mononucleotide, a lot of magnesium, a lot of fish oil. Even though I'm in the sun every day, I take D3K2, a lot of it, probably 3 times the dose that's recommended. I do turmeric, cinnamon, resveratrol, berberine, fish oil. If I didn't take it, I take like double or 3 times the daily amount. Lion's mane, a nootropic. I can't think of the other nootropic that I take. It's cannot think of the name of it. But anyway, I take that every day, and then every day, every morning. This is something I don't think I've ever told you, but this is something if you want to feel something a little different, really ramp up your metabolic performance, and really, really help out with your cardiovascular, is it's a tablespoon and a half of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, a tablespoon and a half of apple cider vinegar, a full cluster of garlic, and sometimes actually it's really more like 2 clusters, not the big clumps, but it's almost 2 tablespoons full of fresh garlic. It's got to be fresh, can't be salted, can't be canned, it's got to be fresh garlic. And then you put honey, and then a big scoop of cayenne pepper, and then you put a whole lemon. When you look at this recipe online, they say to put a half a lemon, but I put a whole lemon. Squeeze the whole lemon in there, and then you drink that down, and it will 100% change your religion. It will make you feel it kicks your metabolic activity way up, and it just rips through your cholesterol. I mean, it just does wonders for you. And it's tough the first couple times you do it, but after that, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yeah, my cholesterol's. But I don't believe in measuring the cholesterol. I used to I got my blood tested for a while every 90 days, which is too much, and then it's every 6 months. But I would be, the doctor just said, hey, you just don't need to do it. And I was on TRT, you know. So it all adds up, you know. Well, you put the honey. Oh, if I did I say honey? I didn't. I may not have said honey. So to put it all together, you put olive oil, apple cider vinegar, big bunch of garlic, honey, lemon, and that's it. And then you mix it. You got to mix it up really, really, really good, really well, and then just drink it down. And I promise you, it helps your cholesterol, it helps your gut health, it helps digestion. Maureen, the cayenne pepper doesn't. You almost don't taste it. Don't let me convince you that you don't taste it at all. But you almost never taste it. Yeah, it's a tablespoon and a half of extra virgin olive oil, tablespoon and a half of apple cider vinegar, a big clump of raw garlic, a big scoop of cayenne pepper, and I say probably about a quarter, like the size of a quarter scoop in your hand, in your palm of your hand of cayenne pepper. They say squeeze half a lemon, but I put a whole lemon because I think lemons are really, really good for you. And then a big squirt of honey just to take the taste of all that stuff, neutralize it a little bit. They say it neutralizes it, it does not. So it's honey, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, garlic, honey, and lemon. Mix it all up, and you do that for about a week, and you'll wonder what you're doing without it. Twice a day. Do once in the morning, once at night. You can put water instead of lemon. The lemon is only meant to neutralize it. I put lemon in there because I love the acidic, and I love what it does for me, for the gut health and for metabolic activity. That's really why I like the lemon. But you can put water in it. And then you don't want to chase it with anything else. You don't want to drink soda afterwards or milk or anything like that. Sure, I'll post it. But you do it, I do it first thing when I wake up, probably about 30 minutes after I wake up, and then I do it at night. And then I take the supplements throughout the day. I do the berberine, metformin, or berberine, metformin, the NMN. NMN is, to me, the NMN and NAD, those are two, one's a precursor, but the NMN is paramount. But you can't just, I mean, you can. There's none of this that's a law. You can do whatever you want. You can not take any of this and get off the stream and think I'm an idiot for telling you, but you should not take NMN by itself because it will do good, but it won't do as good as if you take berberine and resveratrol. Resveratrol, berberine, which they're like a, if you have diabetes, that's really what it does. But if you're not diabetic and you take it, it accelerates what it does for people that are diabetic. It accelerates that benefit for you, and it just helps your digestion. It helps your age. You know, your aging. The NMN, or it's nicotinamide mononucleotide. That's the acronym for it, NMN. That and NAD is a reparative. In part, what it does, it's reparative. So it repairs your cells. So some of his David Sinclair's a gentleman. If you ever want to know really about this from someone who's not an idiot like me, go online. Probably one of the best podcasts he did was with Joe Rogan, when he did the Joe Rogan show, any of them. And also look up Dr. Rhonda Patrick. It's life changers in my opinion. You know, not everything I agree with that she does, but I try it all just to see how my body reacts to it. But David Sinclair, they've done studies on mice, and this isn't just something they did last week. They've been doing it for years. And NAD/NMN, what it does is they'll get what the equivalent of 70-year-old mice. I think mice live like 2 years to 5 years. So they take the equivalent of mice that are 70 years and they put them on a protocol of NMN and NAD. And over a short period of time, their eyesight is that of a 25-year-old, and they have a better cardiovascular than 30-year-old mice. And again, these are equivalent of 30-year-old mice. So it's the equivalent of some of their biorecognition, their bioactivity is very similar to that of a human. You know, not exactly like a human, of course, so make sure you know I'm not saying that. So they can actually see what's happening with mice and associate that with what will happen with humans. So 70-year-old mice, equivalent of 70-year-old mice, they have degenerative cardiovascular, they have degenerative digestion, their eyesight is degrading, and then they put them up against what's considered 25-year-old mice, and their eyesight is better, their bioactivity is better. So And just while we're on that topic, just so I'm not turning, as long as I'm turning all of you off from not talking about Hawaii, I can tell you that for myself, I mean, I'm pretty active. I'm probably more active than the average person. I'm never tired. I rarely, probably, and this is the honest truth, I probably maybe once every 2 weeks will actually say to myself, gosh, dang, man, I'm tired. And you see, I mean, you honestly, you guys see probably a quarter of what it is that I'll do from a walking, hiking activity on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, those of you who are on a lot. But I don't find myself, you know, waking up in the morning and just going, oh my gosh, my knees, my back, my hips. Man, I'm ready to rip. When I wake up, I'm ready to roll, man. 3 o'clock, I jump up, I take Lucille out, we go to do a walk with her, and I'm ready to go, and I'm top of my game, man. I'm acute. My acuity is very high. I take lion's mane, which is really good. It's a nootropic, and I can't think of the other thing. It's not lion's mane, but it's something else. Oh, I wish I could. I'll actually put it in a post if you want me to. I'll put a post together of all the things. But here's the cool part about it. I am not going to tell you should take it, you should do it. Matter of fact, I'm going to caution you from doing it, but I've spent a lot of money on doctors who I was going to taking, blood test every 60 days, and I did it every 6 months. So they were looking at my blood panels and everything, and they just tweak it. They just tweak all your, all the things that you need, your blood, all your, your intake for your cholesterol, so your blood panels, your CNRs, your all that stuff. And they just put me on this protocol, and it was very similar to what Sinclair was doing. And I actually asked the doctor, I said, what do you think of Sinclair's? And she says, my doctor says, I'm on that. I'm on a 90-day test. And when she was done with it, she put me on it. That was 4 years ago, So turkey tail, those turkey tail mushrooms are really good too. No, it's what I'll put in a blender. Oh, let me see, I missed a comment right above there. Extra virgin olive oil, apple cider vinegar, yes, fresh garlic, lemon juice, honey, cayenne pepper. Yeah, that's exactly right. And just to give you, those are tablespoons. Tablespoon of oil, tablespoon of vinegar. The garlic is about the size of a $1/2. I put a lot more garlic than what most people should probably. A full lemon, a full fresh lemon, I just roll it back and forth on the counter, cut it in half and squeeze it. Honey to take the taste out, and cayenne pepper to kick up the metabolic activity. Hang on 1 second, guys. No, it's not blended. I just put it into a cup, mix it up, and drink it. It takes probably 2 big gulps to take it down. What I would do the first time is I would do probably a half of all that, just so you get a little bit acclimated to it. Because a tablespoon and a half, I mean, that's a I don't want to say a monster dose, but that's a good sized dose. But maybe do half of that. I mean, I can't give I'm not giving any type of advice on what any of this is going to do for you guys, but I can tell you this, almost every type of issue that you have, unless it's something that's genetic, that can't be dealt with, medically, it's a lot of it is diet and really getting your body in tune. I mean, if you're sedentary and you eat a lot of crap, if you find yourself, I'm certainly not pointing fingers actually I am pointing, I'm making judgment. If you find yourself going home from work, sitting down on the couch and watching TV or gaming, and if you look in your grocery cart and you have chips and soda and apple juice, orange juice, sugary juices, breads in your shopping cart, you shouldn't complain about anything, because that's the source of so much of your inactivity, weight gain, unhappy, inability to jump up and go on a hike or a long walk. I mean, anybody should be able to just jump up, unless you're way into your 80s. jump up and go do a 2-mile walk at a high pace, 3-mile walk, and just go. Diet and activity do so much to fix headaches and all kinds of things, chronic fatigue, you know, soreness. I mean, you have soreness in your knees unless if you're an athlete, and I mean athlete. I'm not calling myself an athlete because I am absolutely not. But unless you're an athlete who has played through high school, a little bit of college, and you have sore knees, if you're not those things, so if you're not an athlete and you didn't get bad knees, bad hips from being very active, playing on hardwood floors, wrestling, hitting the floor, things like that, it's because of how you're maintaining your body. You're either not working enough, you're not walking around enough, and your body will respond to it if you do. If you start walking more, you start eating better, your body will just respond to it. Conversely, if you don't eat that well, if you eat anything that is, like last night, for example, I had 3 margaritas, and I can tell you this, in the last 6 months, I've said this before, I've drank more in the last 6 months I probably have in 5 years, just because of because I chose to. That's really what it is, but normally I wouldn't. But I don't like to eat anything that doesn't die, bleed, or rot. If there's anything you're eating that has preservatives in it that could sit on a shelf for 20 years and still be eaten, that's nothing you should be putting in your body. And what it does is it just blasts your joints. And not only does it make your joints sore, but the reason it's making it sore is it's attacking the flexibility of your joints, the efficiency of your joints, and it's making your joints bad, work or not work well. You know, the cartilage gets weakened, and then it stiffens up, and then you start saying, oh, my back hurts, my knee hurts. It's because of crap you're eating. That's what it is. You know, and then you're not working them out. You know, your body has a major way of correcting and healing itself if you just give it all the information it needs, you know, in my opinion. Yep, that's great. That's great, Crystal. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have problems. If you've lived a life, you're going to have car wrecks. And I mean, I've had several car wrecks. I had a massively bad motorcycle wreck. They're going to cut my leg off. In one wreck, they're going to cut my left leg off because it was crushed so bad. It's broken 12 places, broke my right leg in 6 places, broke both my thumbs off my hands, broke my shoulder in 2 places, broke my arm, broke my jaw in 2 places, knocked out 11 teeth, and bashed my head open with a big old hole in the back of it. And I still feel that, but hey man, no time for crying. There's no excuses for that. I mean, that's just one of those things that happen. Oh, I bashed my teeth out. I've had my teeth hit with a rubber, some of you guys will know what a dent puller, those rubber mallet dent pullers. It's a rubber mallet, and you bash on one side of the door that's been smashed in. You use it to bash the metal out. I've had that. I had my teeth knocked out with one of those years ago. All of them, all the front ones. The ones that didn't fall out right then and there were pulled out. Broken my hands a bunch of times, foot, ankle. Smashed my knees up a bunch of times. I actually was telling Shasta, I found, Terry found the photo when I first came back again from 2 years ago, and when I got hit by a scooter. I wanted to post that photo, but it's bloody and there's a hole in my leg. I was going to post it and say, this is what happens when you run into a scooter. Yeah, I love that. I love Moana Surf Rider. The recipes of the apple cider drink? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Oh man, don't admire me. I mean, those are accidents. Accidents happen to dummies. There's nothing to be admired. The fact I lived through it, that's maybe surprising, but it's certainly nothing to be admired. This is the burger that they flaunt to you at Moana Surf Fire. That may look like something that we do. Look at that bacon, blue cheese. We may put that on the burger challenge. Guys, I'm telling you, if you do this for yourself, try this for 1 full month. Don't eat anything that doesn't rot, bleed, or die. Just try it. Soda is poison. I don't care if you're any kind of saccharin. Well, if you watched and read up on what happens to your cells and why your cells, when your cells get compromised, or the reparative issue, the reparative mechanism on your cells, it's like when you smoke. When you smoke, every time you smoke, it starts degenerating your arteries, the outside of your arteries. Every single time you do it, and your cells they stop repairing themselves efficiently. You know, and if you don't smoke, if you don't do anything, if you try to live yourself as healthy as you can, you still have issues with your cells. So why would you smoke and do all those types of things that's going to make it even worse off and more difficult? And when you do things like fasting, it makes your cells go into high gear and start generating natural growth hormones, some natural testosterone, reparative. Your body's telling your cells, oh my gosh, we're in desperation mode. We need to start repairing ourselves because we're not getting any nutrients, and it dumps all the bad stuff out of your body, or a lot of the bad stuff out of your body, and your spleen and your liver. So when you do things like you eat chips and soda, you know, salted peanuts, candy bars, chocolate, any popcorn, anything that can sit on the shelf. Actually, you should probably do this without taking any action. You know, and I'm not trying to talk down to anybody, trying to make you feel bad, but just try this. Do your regular shopping, do your regular, grocery store visits, but then at the end of it, look in your cart and say to yourself, what if I don't do anything with these items in here? How many are going to be rotted by 2 days or 3 days from now? Obviously, it's going to be your produce, which are all the good things. But if you have soda and chips, those things can last on the shelves for 15 years. Do you think that's the best stuff to put in your body? And what do you think your body does to it? That delicate, sensitive, highly engineered body of yours, what do you think it does with all that? Man, it is a killer. And when you eat that stuff, when you eat the chips and candy and chocolate, I mean, yeah, you splurge a couple times, go and eat cake, go and eat pie from time to time, but man, if it's a regular part of your body or a regular part of your diet, if it's a staple, look what you put in your, it actually may be easier to do this. Look at other people's grocery carts and look at how much of the stuff they put in there that they could put in a closet or a pantry, and it will last for 10 or 15 years. And that's what you're putting in your hyper, super delicate body. And you're telling it that's the fuel that you have to work with. As opposed to fresh vegetables, meat, fish, chicken, salmon, So. I know it sounds preachy. I'm certainly not meaning for it to be that way, but quality of life, I mean, man, you walk around Hawaii, and this is a place where a lot of people walk around. They have, they come there for their vacations, and then you see people that are in their 30s and 40s and 50s that are just, I mean, they're walking like this. You can't really see me, but I'm walking like I'm decrepit. They're like bent over, and their knees are hurting, and their back is hurting, and they're just, they have, and everybody has something different. Obviously, there could be genetic, all that stuff, but I'm talking about mostly what should be able-bodied people, and they're just having a hard time walking around all day. And it's just, when you're in your 40s or 50s, man, unless you do something radical, that's as good as your life is going to get, and it's probably not going to get better than that unless you do something drastic, and it will get worse. And this concludes the preaching portion of our program. I appreciate you guys sticking around, and sorry about that, guys. I dropped off. All right. Well, that concludes the the preaching part of our program. Actually, I need to turn this off. Yep. Sorry about that. I knocked the power off. There you go, Michelle. All right, guys. I appreciate you sticking around. We're actually going to go change our clothes, get dried off, and I'm going to take this nightmare here. Hey, Lucille. Hey, up here. You ready to go home and get some salmon? All right. Look how wet she is. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Adios.